Welcome to the third and final review of the week. Up this time is Damsel. Yes, just Damsel. If you recall, we did an interview about this game with the developer and publisher Screwtape Studios a few weeks ago. But as always, if you missed that particular interview, this game is an action run-and-gun platformer. Very arcade-based, given the genre. And, the setup here is you are an agent codenamed Damsel.
The people doing the codenaming must not have liked you very much.
Yeah. Well, it's like she works for... I'm not exactly sure if they're a governmental organization, a mercenary organization. I suppose that doesn't really matter. The basic
some kind of anti-vampire terrorist. We're parsing as vampire terrorist as one thing.
Yeah. Not just
an SWAT tactics thing.
Not just an anti-vampire terrorist, an anti-corporate vampire terrorist. Apparently, the vampires control a large multinational corporation or something like here. Insert your critique of capitalism here. Basically, you're a girl who shoots vampires.
Hey, be fair. Sometimes you also knife them.
Yes. And you also save hostages. Oh god, those fucking hostages.
And make sure you don't accidentally shoot a hostage, because then the stage is over.
Yeah, I'm gonna be frank with you. That is very hard because, it's like I killed the hostages quite a lot because this game is a very frantic arcade shooty affair, and the hostages are very purposely designed against that. When you get to a hostage, you have to cut the ropes, and that actually you have to slam down the Y button.
It's a weird little mini game where the rope becomes a bar, and your marker goes left and right along the bar, and you have to hit it. And every time you hit it, it reverses direction, and the bar gets a little bit shorter. So, if you just hammer it, that's what you're supposed to do, kind of. But if you get a little bit out of control, you can sort of save it. But yeah, you also have to use a different button for that than you use for most other things.
So you have to make sure the way is clear, because if you get shot, you have to do the game. You have to do the thing over again. See also the time bombs. But the thing about time bombs is you don't have to worry about shooting them, and
they're in the background, but you do, and they give you plenty of time to shut them down.
Yeah. Mind you, the time bombs can be literally uneven in terms of deactivation, because there are 4 switches. You have to hit all the yellow ones and not hit the multicolored ones.
Once again, it's a timing thing mostly.
Yeah. Sometimes that can be one switch, that can be all 4 switches, or 2 or 3. And that's random every time.
Yeah.
It's another thing that, individually is not that big of a deal, but with all the other stuff that they can have going on at the same time gets annoying.
Yeah. I'll say the hostages were much more annoying because, it's like they got shot a lot around me. Because, I'm kind of busy trying to kill the fucking vampire that's 2 feet away, and he just walked over past the hostage. I cannot tell you how many times that fucking happened. Anyway,
I think the hostages are partially intentionally placed to discourage firing too loosely. But
it's all intentionally designed. Make no mistake. It's just frustrating.
Yeah.
Not other things that you might be doing in a given level, because the way a level ends is dependent on the objective. Sometimes it's dealing with a time bomb, sometimes it's rescuing the hostages, sometimes it's killing the vampires, sometimes it's destroying all the coffins.
Sometimes it's finding a computer.
Yes, hacking it. hacking into computers, turning off switches. Another one is collecting the skulls.
Which
Now, the
are
skull-
left behind when you destroy a coffin, and sometimes when you kill a vampire, and also they're just littered throughout the stages. And on hard mode, you literally cannot go too long between collecting skulls or you die.
Yeah. In easy mode, there is no death. I played on normal.
Yeah.
Same here.
Like,
So yeah, you get a multiplier on your score if you collect skulls in a combo in a certain amount of time. But yeah, on hard mode, it's literally you have to keep your skull combo up or you die, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's like the way you get skulls from vampires is you have to dash through them.
Yeah.
And you get a dash. You get a dash move as well. But yeah,
Yeah, they put the dash attack on an awkward button, so I didn't use it much.
Same for me. Like, it's on the B button, so
The right face button.
Anyway, that's kind of the extent of your moves, and that's kind of all the game has to offer. I mean, there's still a few things like the electricity bars, the red lasers.
The electricity bars hurt you and shut down your gun for a little while. You can take them out by destroying generators.
Yeah, the red bars do that just without like the disabling the gun. You have to hit a switch to actually disable them. Because with the electricity bars, you can go through them and you can still, have them gone if you went through them. Like, it's damage, but you'll get through them.
And you do get more than one hit, but not a lot.
Yeah, you get three hits. You can get additional hits by finding blood barrels. So blood barrels, there are two ways you can approach them. You either punch them for just a bonus heart, but if you shoot them, that will also spawn a floating vampire who is worth a lot of money or worth a lot of points. So, and yeah, that's about all there is to this game. And that's kind of where my big problem is with this game. It's just a lack of variety. I got through chapter 1. I felt that was enough. Maybe chapter 2, chapter 3 evolve things further, but
there is a story if you're playing in story mode, so if you want to see where that goes, knock yourself out.
Yeah, there is a story, but this is definitely not a game I played for the story, to say the least. But this game is just lacking evolution, like power-ups. There are some different vampires, but not enough. There was some progression, but not enough of it, especially at the end of the chapter where it just started recycling areas and just really flipping the objective. There's no bosses. There's no different weapons. There's no there's no bonus challenges. It's all very bare bones. It's all functional. It's got a great gameplay loop. It's just once you've played one chapter, even that, you've probably seen all this game has to offer in terms of progression. Oh, sure, it's like if you just want to play the game, I'd probably recommend arcade mode.
Yeah.
Something like that. The graphics they're done in a graphical novel style. This is all the whole aesthetic is comic book.
Very comic book.
Yeah.
Like, music is appropriately throttly pumpy. It's like not too memorable though. And overall, the price. So this game clocks in at $17 for all platforms.
I enjoyed it, but I don't know if I enjoyed it $17 worth.
Yeah, I'm kind of $17 is a bit much for like if this game. I'd say wait for a sale like this. I probably wouldn't have paid more than $10 for it. Unfortunate, because like I said, it's a solid game. There's just not enough substance for me to say, like, unless you're really into leaderboard, and because this game is really score attack focused.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like, I'll be honest, I think Blazing Chrome is a better one of these than Damsel. It's not to say that Damsel isn't a bad game or anything.
Well, they're differently focused. The stages in Damsel are very bite-sized.
Yeah. It's like, and I probably recommend getting the Switch version because you're probably not spending more than 2 minutes in the given stage. So this is this would be a good game to, knock out like 3 stages in a session and then, go on with your day. Come back to it in an hour or whatever. Yeah.
By the way, my only real mechanical beef with this game, aside from putting a pretty important thing on the hardest to hit face button, the jump, and you can double jump in this too, but the basic jump is really high, and it's not always super clear what you can grab onto. Not like a bad thing, just like I sometimes worried about hitting my head on stuff or that kind of thing. I did hit my head on the electrical thing several times.
Yeah. Also worth noting, on the Steam storefront, you can purchase the OST. That will clock in at $7. The total package will be $21.58. Yeah, it's like if you're getting this on the PC, I'd recommend getting the soundtrack edition, bundled in. It's just like kind of separately, everything feels a bit too expensive. But my overall recommendation for a version to purchase would definitely be the Switch. Just because like this game feels like it was developed for the Switch, or a handheld device. Just the very, very short constrained levels, and the fact that it'll take you about 30 to 90 seconds to clear one. That's
Which again, time is part of the score that you're attacking for.
It's all perfect Nintendo handheld design. I won't say mobile design because like the actual run and gun mechanics would be awful on a mobile phone. But
yeah, this is a game that requires some precision in controls that you generally don't get with pseudo buttons on a touchscreen.
Yeah, and here's the thing: even if it had controller support on like iOS or whatever, not too many people carry around controllers for their phones. Those people,
it would bite into the usability of it as a portable pick up and play thing.
Yeah. It's actually been one of the great conundrums of mobile game design, because you have to design for the touchscreen first, because that's what everyone has. Not everyone has a Bluetooth controller, either because it's awkward to have around, attachment or no attachment, and especially like those controllers are fucking expensive. $100 I've seen, which is like double the price of an Xbox One controller, a basic one, but still.
And that's why Nintendo designed their touchscreen with a half of a controller on either side that you can use while they're connected, or also take them apart and use it separately.
Right. It's like the Nintendo Switch is designed that you have a controller around. So, combine the design with the format of the Nintendo Switch, and I think you got your sweet spot there. This just gets a little too stale, a little too quickly in a space like a PC or a television-bound console. So overall rating would be a 6, 7 on a Switch. So, And any other thoughts or critiques on Damsel here? All right, then. So that'll about do it for this review session. The week ahead, coming up on Wednesday, August 28th, we'll be having Rodrigo Cudrello Garza of C-Cell Studio. That's a whole bunch of words that make my tongue scream out. Garza is a Mexican game developer. I'm trying to think if we had anyone from Mexico on the program before. I think we have, but it's definitely been a while.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be talking about their food combat multiplayer game, Lunchapalooza, which is currently in early access. I don't know if we're getting code for this yet or not. But yeah, this is, if anything else, a very unique-looking game. We got a couple other ones here, Running Fable, Between Oblivion, but the main one they want to talk about is Foodapalooza. We do have a Friday show, regular time, so be sure to check your calendar there, Galix. As we will be inviting Dylan Nigel of Gamius. This interview has actually been quite a while in the works. I'd say this interview has been floating in our to be interviewed pile for about 6 to 9 months. It's because when I first approached Gamius with the interview proposal, they wanted to talk about this game, Lake, which is an interactive narrative experience type thing, which is actually kind of a change of pace from what they usually do, which is a lot more simple puzzle affairs. But anyway, they call it a narrative adventure game. The game has not been ready to be talked about until this time. So I'm looking forward to talking about it. From what I understand, they plan on giving us a prototype version of the game. But I don't think they quite worked out the delivery method. I'll have to ping Dylan about that. To see if we're going to have any live demonstrations or not. So on that note, I shall wish you good gaming.